Ha salido el dato de PMI de Estados Unidos y enseguida aquí Javier del Valle nos va a contar todos los detalles sobre él. Pero antes, Colin Graham, gestor senior del equipo de soluciones multiactivos sostenibles de Robeco. Good afternoon, Colin. Thank you for being in Office Televisión.
Hi, how are you doing?
Colin, the Goldilocks scenario has been what investors were looking for so many time. The big question now is if this, in fact, what we've seen in the last few months is already a Goldilocks scenario. Do you think so?
I think so. With the expectations around inflation coming down, people have forgot that they say inflation is coming down, but it's not going to reach central bank targets for some time. So the worst of inflation is probably past us. However, the long grind to bring inflation under control has still got to do. It got to be done by central banks, and that's why we think the central banks aren't done, and we'll see more interest rate hikes over the next couple of months.
By the way, in asset management, 60-40 portfolios have traditionally performed very well. Is this still the case right now in the market?
So last year was a very bad year for 60-40 portfolios because you got no correlation. Equity markets went down, but central banks had to raise interest rates. So that sent yields up. Therefore, your bond side of your portfolio also went down in absolute value. So by the end of the year, it didn't matter whether you were in a 60-40 or a 25-75 or even a 75-25 split between equities and bonds. You pretty much got the same negative return over the year. That has changed this year. We're starting to see correlations come lower, so equity and bond prices moving in different directions, and that's adding to diversification in your portfolios. But what's been the overriding driver of markets is that equity markets have had a very good first half of the year, and indeed the Nasdaq has had its best half-year return ever at the start of 2023.
Recession, Colin, is still on the horizon. In Europe, the only economy that has already entered a recession, a technical recession, is Germany. My question is if Germany is going to be an isolated case or not.
One of our views last year was thinking about rolling recessions through the global economy because all the countries were in different stages of their economic cycle. You can see in China, even though growth is still positive, you would consider that to be more recessionary because growth is slowing, inflation is very low. In Germany, yes, we've seen a technical recession, but we've seen technical recession in the US at the start of last year as well. So we will continue to see these slowdowns moving across the world. What we don't hope for is that we get them coinciding. So if they coincide, then that turns into a more deeper, prolonged slowdown in global economy, which will be bad for risk assets.
Colin Graham, gestor senior del equipo de soluciones multiactivos sostenibles de Robeco. Colin, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Bueno, y mientras tanto, nosotros pendientes a ese dato que ha salido hace unos minutos.